Okay, to do our MC Escher tessellations on the computer rather than hand drawing them, what I've done is I have scanned, or you can scan, your image that you drew in the diamond shape with your symmetrical designs. Then you're going to start a new Photoshop file. Now, Photoshop is the blue box with PS. If you do not have that in your dock, you'll need to go into your hard drive and your applications folder to find that and go ahead and open that. Mine is already open, and so I'm going to go to File, New, and I'm going to start a new document. And this document I want to be 15 inches. Now, yours may say pixels when it first comes up. Pixels are little dots of information. And this one has 300 pixels in each inch, both horizontally and vertically. So you can see this would have 4,500 pixels across and down if we were doing 15 inches. So what we want to do is we want to change pixels to inches because we think more readily in inches than pixels. So you also want to have your resolution at 300. That's just a good graphic design rule of thumb, a good high resolution. So when we print these, they're nice and clear. So 15 inches wide, 15 inches high, resolution 300, color mode RGB, and I like to have my background as transparent. So you can choose what you want, but I think for this assignment, transparent would be a good idea to work with because we'll be able to better see what we're working with. So once you have everything set like this, go ahead and click OK, and you'll get something that looks like this on your screen. What you're going to actually do is you're going to first of all go File, Place, and I will have sent you your images, and so I have all of them saved under a file called Student Images. So I'm going to select my image and I'm going to place it. It'll come up looking something like this with an X through the middle. Right now what you want to do is you just want to hit return, and that actually places it on our image that we're working with. Now you can see I've got some things that I might not want to have on here. I've got like where I wrote my name, so we're going to need to get rid of some things. You'll also notice that over in the layers palette, if you don't have the layers palette, let me know and I will help you out with that. But likely you will find the word layers over here, or you can go Window, Layers, or F7, which we don't have F7. Well, yeah, we have F7. But go ahead and go to what, so you can view the layers palette. What you'll also notice is that image that I brought in has like a little black box down in the corner. And that means right now we are unable to make any changes to it. And that's bad for this assignment because we want to make changes to it. So the first thing we need to do is go Layer, Rasterize, Layer. Now that little blue box or black box has disappeared, and we can now make changes to our image. First thing then you want to do is you want to go find the magic wand tool. It may look like this over, and it should be about the fourth tool down in your toolbars. We don't want to use this quick selection tool. We want to use the magic wand tool. So go ahead and select that. And then you're going to click on the white that is the outside of your diamond shape and hit delete. You'll notice now that that white is gone. And you can see now why it's important that we have that transparent background, because we can now see what we have gotten rid of. And if we had left that background white, we'd have a hard time telling, well, did it get rid of it or didn't it get rid of it? But now we know for sure. So now we want to get rid of our little marching ants of our selection. So we can go Select, Deselect, or Command D if you want to get used to using some of the shortcut keys. Now you'll notice I have this little bit down here where it was my name written on the outside. So I want to use my eraser tool, and it'll be down a little further in your toolbars. So select that eraser tool. You can change the size of the eraser up here depending on how large of an area you need to erase. So this looks pretty good right now, so I can just go in and carefully erase that, and now it's all gone. So now that I've done that, I want to do some changing. I need to rotate and I need to copy and rotate some more. 12 of these images to put together our hexagon shaped tessellation before we can do any coloring. So what we're going to do, actually I'm going to change my mind. Now that we have it here, you might want to click the magnifying glass and zoom in to this so that it's a little bit bigger. Here would be where then we can take our paint bucket and we can go in and select colors to paint our areas. So for example, maybe I want her hair to be sort of blondish color. So I'm going to pick with, since I've selected the paint bucket, I have these swatches, these color swatches that come up and you can, pick any of those colors there. So I'm going to pick this kind of a color. And then when I come back over on my image, you'll notice that I have the paint bucket again. So I'm going to go ahead and remember it's symmetrical. So what I do on this side, I have to also do on this side. Then let's say I want to make his shirt green. So I'm going to pick a greenish color here and I'm going to paint bucket the shirt green symmetrically on both sides. Let's see, what else do I want to do? Maybe I want to make his shirt down here kind of a purplish color. So now I'm going to go ahead and select a purple color and I'm going to paint bucket that on both sides. Now he's got this little collar going on here and maybe I want to make that a little bit of darker purple. Now you'll notice you're getting into some pretty small areas to be adding color to. So if you need to, don't be afraid to go back to your magnifying glass and make it even bigger. And then you'd have to go back to your paint bucket. And you can go ahead and paint bucket those in. Now you would go ahead and continue doing this until you have everything the way that you want it. So I think I'm going to have his hair be black. So I'll do that. I might have the inside of his mouth be black too, just because we might not be able to see in there. Same thing for her. All right. And then let's see, maybe I need to pick a skin color for one of them. Let's go ahead over and pick a color. And I can go ahead and paint bucket all of those parts on that person. And then maybe I want to pick a different skin color. So let's pick a different skin color. Nope, I don't like that. So I can go edit, undo, edit, step backwards because I need to undo both of them. So maybe I'll select a different color here. Maybe I'll put it for this guy here. I'm going to do all of those areas that are going to belong to that one selection. And then let's see, I need to pick something for her yet, don't I? So maybe, a pastel yellow orange. Yeah, I think I'll do that. So those are the parts of her that are skin tone. Now I can go ahead and continue working and finishing up. So maybe I'm going to give her kind of a pink collar here. And maybe I'm going to give her a pink shirt. Oh my gosh, look what happened. I didn't have these two lines connecting, so now it looks like all of this is her shirt, so that's not going to work. So again, I need to go edit, undo paint bucket. So what I need to do then is I need to take and go to my paintbrush or my pencil tool. Either one will work fine. And obviously look how big of a mark that will make. That's way too big. So I need to downsize that and kind of test it over here. Oh, that'll be about perfect. So I'm going to undo that. But I don't want that line to be pink. I want it to be black. So I'm going to actually hit this and switch those colors around. And I'm just going to come in here and I'm going to add just a little tiny line right about there. And I'm going to try really hard to do it symmetrically on both sides. And now if I go back to my paint bucket and I switch my pink down here or select it up here again, then when I paint bucket, it just does her shirt. Her little medallion that she has there, I kind of want that to look a little silverish, so I'm going to pick a gray color, and that'll work. He's kind of got this bib thing going on. I don't know if he's a baby or what's going on, so I'm going to pick, let's just pick kind of a dark, well, let's kind of pick maybe a darker green. Yeah, that looks kind of good on both sides symmetrically. Now I have this white space in between back here. I don't want to leave that white. I want to have everything have color in it. So I'm going to pick, I think, a light blue because I don't have any blue in there yet. So now I have my entire first piece colored. Now the beauty in this is we're going to be able to just simply copy and paste. Now I need to make this smaller so I can see my whole thing, my whole palette again. So I have selected, or my whole page, so I've selected the magnifying glass and I'm going to hit the Option key, and now you have a minus in the magnifying glass. So that's going to bring that out. So now I can see my whole page again. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to actually hit my move tool because I want to move this, and I actually might want to make this a tiny bit smaller. And you can also type down here a percentage. So let's try that at maybe 15%. Whoops. Actually, let's maybe try 13%. Now I can see the bottom, which is going to be helpful. What I'm going to want to do is I'm going to want to grab, if you don't see rulers on the side of your paper, top and left side, you want to go to View, Rulers, and make it selected, check marks that there, and then you'll be able to see these rulers. The rulers are going to come in a little bit handy here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to just click on the ruler on the left, and I'm going to drag over as I'm clicking down, and I'm going to line that up with 7.5. That is exactly the middle of my paper, because that's going to help me to position this first image. So now what I need to do is I need to go to Edit, Transform, Rotate, and you'll get this box around. And if you'll notice, when you come out here at one of the corners, you get the little Rotate tool. And we're going to want to rotate this, and if you kind of grab in this transparent area, we want to move that down, and we want to try to get that to be kind of lined up. Now you can use your arrow key to move it down too. Looks like I have to just tweak it a little bit. Until I get it just right on that edge. Then when I have it positioned exactly on that center line, the point on the center line, and that edge right even with the bottom, then I'm going to hit return. And now it's placed it there for me. Looks great so far. Now the easy part. Well, it's going to take a little time, but it's not difficult. I'm going to click on my layer and highlight it in blue. I'm going to click and I'm going to drag it down to where it looks like a new page. Don't go to the trash bucket. That will be bad. Go to the next one to the left, the little page. Now actually it's made a copy, but we can't see it. But if I use my move tool and I move it off to the side, I can see that I have exactly the same thing, but now it doesn't match up. So what I have to do is I have to go that Edit, Transform, Rotate again, and I can rotate it until, it's kind of like a little puzzle, till it fits in there. And again, you might want to use your arrow keys because you want it to get it to line up as perfectly as possible. This again might be, well, I'm going to apply that for now, but look how far off it is. So I might zoom in a little bit, and then I can hit my Edit, Transform, Rotate. And notice you have to be kind of very particular and very careful. And it should line up pretty closely. Then I can hit return and it sets it right in there. That looks really good. We can always go back and make some minor adjustments. Now, the important thing is we want to do File, save as, and you'll want to call this your name, dash tessellation, Tessellation. And you'll want to leave it as a Photoshop format for right now, and remember where you save it to so you can get to it later. And then when this window comes up, just click OK. Now the fun begins. You're going to take this copy and you're going to drag it down onto that new page, and I've made another copy of that particular image. And now I need to figure out how I'm going to rotate that around. So I can go transform, rotate, and we're going to rotate that around until it's going to match up. And I can use my arrow keys. Looks like it's a little bit off. And you do want to be very particular about getting these to line up exactly, because that is one of the criteria for the assignment. All right, so that looks pretty good. I would suggest that every time you place one in, you save it. Go File, Save. You don't have to do Save As, just you can do File, Save so that you're sure you've got it where you want it. So you're going to keep doing this. Now I've had 3 copies, so I've got 9 to go. So I'm going to grab this one. Be nice if that just slide right in there, but look, if I come over here, it's almost already in position. So I can place that one right there. Now let's see, if I plan this one, which was this one, I can make a copy of that. And if I move that, you can kind of see how this isn't, if you kind of figure out the pattern, it's not so bad. Might have to do a little bit of tweaking, but it should come out pretty darn close. So now I've got, how many? 5 already. Now I want to stand one up in here. So it looks like this, if I pick this one, it would stand up right in there. So now I need to figure out which one that is. And now I can move it over. And again, using my arrow keys, I'm much better at using my arrow keys than anything else. All right, so that looks pretty good. Now, I also want to put one standing up over here. And look, if I copy this one, it should stand up right in there. Uh-oh, look what I did. I went to the trash can instead. So I want to do Edit, Undo. Uh-oh, didn't do it. So Edit, Step, Backward. All right, so let's go and put the page on there. That would be much better. Whoops, where did it go? Okay, I need to move this over. Maybe. There it goes. Then I can put that one right into position. Looks pretty good right there. And so now I have to put one in here. So do I have one that will match up to that? I sure do. Right here. So if I find out that was my first one, I think that will fit right in there. So let's see. That fits right in there. Looks good to me. And again, we might have to do a little tweaking. Looks pretty good. Might be able to tweak it that way just a smidgen. All right. Let's see. Then we need the green guy. And let's see, do we have any of the green guy in the right way? I'm not sure we do. So we may have to just take one, make a copy. So then we're going to have to do our rotate. So we go Edit, Transform, Rotate. Uh-oh. That's not right. That can't go there. That can't go there. Aha, but it can go here. It can stand up. So again, it's a little bit of a puzzle. So I want to just tweak that. All right, now I got to figure out which one this is to lay in there. Looks like it's going to be this same one as this one. So if I can find that one, looks like there it is. I can copy that one and it should slide right in there. And let's see, let's count how many I have. 1, 2, well, let's see, I have copy 9 plus 1 more is 10. So I have 2 more to go. All right, so I think again I can copy this one to slide in here. So let me copy that one. And I'm going to slide that up in there. Perfect. 1 more to go. Our purple dude, which I think is the very first one. And I'm going to slide that up. And I'm going to place that right there. And it's all good. Now what we're going to do is we can take our, whoa, I don't want to go bigger, I want to go smaller, so I have to hold down my Option key. All right, so I've got this. Now I really only need to have this piece. I have extra up here that I don't need. So what I can do is I can come up to the marquee tool, the selection tool, which is the second one from the top. I don't want the elliptical tool, but I want the rectangular one. And so what I can do is I can come in here and I can actually pull down my rulers and say, okay, it's got to be about that big and it's got to be about to there. So then I can use my selection tool and I can select it and come over here, and then I can go image, crop, and hopefully there it is. Now I just have that selected, so I can go deselect. I can save, which we haven't done for a while. Now what we need to do is get rid of the rulers, and we can use the selection tool or our move tool at the top. Get rid of those rulers. Looks good to me. Go File, Save As again, and this time the format, instead of Photoshop, you're going to go JPEG. Notice it changed it up here. Remember where you're saving it. Save. The settings you want is you want it to be a large file, progressive, scans 3, OK. And then this JPEG is going to be the one that you're going to upload to me for looking at. That's our tutorial on MC Escher style tessellations by using Photoshop.